Okay. Thank you. All right, here we go. It's a great day for a power up. Wins.
Got a new contract for Dane.
Yes, we got a contract for Dane, and there was an issue about getting his EMD in, but he figured it out. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna write a check and mail it. Like, oh, okay. We don't think of that.
It'll get there in a couple of days,
Yeah.
Okay, now this is still on the getting your clients to invest in real estate or letting them know to equip your sphere to build real estate wealth. And so we can see there's a cul-de-sac there. 90% of all millionaires become so through owning real estate. Andrew Carnegie, he said that over 100 years ago.
Wow.
And it's still true. Let's make millionaires in your sphere. Do the math, simple math here. Assume $10,000 is invested in the stock market. And if the stock market goes up to $12,000 from that $10,000 in a year, what's your return? Okay, so you made $2,000 out of $10,000, so you had a 20% return. That's pretty darn good, right? So you invest in real estate. You take that $10,000 and put it down to buy a $300,000 property. If the house goes up in value 4%, the rate of return is 4% is $12,000. And then so
4 times the $300,000. 4% of the $300,000 is $12,000.
yes. So
divide that by 10. Oh, sorry.
So it'd be yeah. So then you take that divided by $10,000, you made 120% on your money. And so that's a lot of people just blindly put their money in the stock market or in stock market funds, and they think, yeah, that's great. I don't have to pay attention to it. This real estate investing is not as passive as stock market funds, but as you can see, it is quite a bit more lucrative.
How do you get the 120 that you divide?
12,000 divided by 10,000. It's 120%.
Yeah, I was looking
Because
at
it's
my market report today from Norma.
Oh,
And I was like,
yeah.
good investment.
I don't know how that comes up, but how that works out.
Well, it's obviously one because it's 10,000, 12,000 is more than 10,000. So it's one plus the 2,000.
Yes. Okay.
So 20%. So it's made 120%.
Yeah, it came to 1.2, but when you put it into percentage, it's
So how to excel at real estate investing? Buy under the market rate. When we bought the duplex for $249, it appraised at $265. When you bought yours, it appraised for $70,000 over what you paid for it. So that's just luck, or you're just not going to buy unless you're buying below market rate. So, or great real estate agents that you work with. Get properties that cash flow to get your down payment back. There's other methods. Oh man, I wish I could go deeper into it, but I committed to making these short. And then repeat. Once you get your down payment back, repeat it.
Do it again.
Do it again. Well, there's a BRRRR method. I'm going to go into it for a second here. How can you share this with your clients? The BRRRR method is buy, rehab. So you buy a distressed property.
Let's say like Fairmont.
Yeah, say that one. You rehab it, you rent it out, and usually you try to buy for cash. And if you have to use a hard money lender, do it that way, however, or have your own cash. So you try to buy it for cash, rehab it for whatever money you have, rent it out, refinance it so that you get your money back out of it and usually a little more, because now that it's rehab, you can, it'll appraise for more and then repeat it. Buy,
That's bird.
rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. Do it over and over again till you're, till you reach your comfort level.
Sorry, I was looking at the date, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Today is the 24th. Okay, so now
It
let's
says, how
go.
can you share this with clients?
Oh, yeah, how could you share this with clients?
Are you asking me?
Yeah,
Okay,
go for it.
well, maybe, well, like we did with the Win Make Give series, we shared that
Mhm.
and kind of shared that. And shared.
Shared it.
Shared.
Here.
And then, but maybe we could do like a little meetup, like our, Howard was talking about. Monday.
Yeah, you know, Win Make Give 2.0, episode 11, I think it was, has this, so you can just share that podcast with your client.
I
Mhm.
and then, Norma always shares that the first, your first investment, your first purchase should be an investment, like a duplex or something of that sort. So for the first time home buyer social, I put on there, it's not just for like
Mhm.
residential, like if you're first time, like we cover a wide range of topics.
Yeah,
So if you're interested in investing too, come on.
maybe investor special or something
Yeah.
like that.
Okay,
Like,
so connect your clients to the 5 and 10 in 30 years home strategy. You buy a home, you own it, you own your own home, okay? You rent out, what's the advantage of sharing the strategy with clients? How can you share? Okay, you rent out that original home and buy a second home. So you're buying these not as rentals, but as primary residence. So you gotta wait at least a year. Most loans will make you do that, live in the house for a year, couple of years, whatever, until you can save up the money for another down payment for another home. Rent out your current home once you move out, and then you do that again for a third home, do it again for a fourth home, do it again for a fifth home. I was talking to this lady yesterday, who I was trying to get her to sell her house because Kenny wanted to buy it, and she's like, no, I'm good here, and I have 6 rentals, so, and they're all paid for. This house is paid for, and all the rentals are paid for. I was like,
Nice.
that's good life right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and both her and her husband were in real estate back in the day.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, she's 76, 77 right now, so, and doing pretty good.
Though.
The way California is, the rent's probably only.
Right, but like for someone who started, if I would have known then what I know now, but if you buy your first one, let's say you buy a duplex. So you're essentially already starting, you're already one step above because you're able to rent out that other side. And that's helping you make your mortgage payment. Maybe it's not in the best #1 area in town, or maybe it's not exactly your dream home or exactly where you'd want to be. Stepping stone, they're stepping stones to get you to where you can buy whatever the heck you want.
Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this with my house now. Do some
Exactly.
stuff and then.
Yep,
Couple
Paul and
years.
Kelsey could do,
Yeah.
definitely do it with theirs, but.
yep, so you gotta share financing options, help your clients see their financing options. There are all kind of primary home financing, secondary home financing, investment financing, commercial financing, owner financing. Owner financing is hard to come by, but every once in a while, that is a strategy that people are using. If they have, say they have a rental and they just want out of it, they're older, but the advantage for them is, like, a lot of the investors I work with, or some of the investors I've worked with, like to do owner financing of the purchases, because they'll say, I'll pay you this much money for it, and I'll give you I'll amortize it over 30 years, but pay you 5 years and then give you a balloon payment at the end of the 5 years. So what it does is it helps the older person who's selling the home. It's kind of like a retirement plan. They get they'll usually structure it where it's an interest only payment. And then at the end of the 5 years, they pay that whole amount off using a loan. And so, or just taking money out of their pocket, usually they use a loan though. So that person has 5 years of income, of that fixed income up to the point where the balloon payment pays off, and they're in a different tax bracket too because they're older. Not a different tax bracket, a different structure. So primary home financing, I remember when we went to buy that duplex and the guy was apologetic to us. Oh my gosh, you know, I'm sorry, but you know, because it's a investment property, your interest rate's going to be 4.85.
Okay.
Oh, okay, that's fine. You know, the numbers work. It's still cash flowed and everything. So we went for it. Now people would kill for a 4.85% interest rate, and that was not that long ago. So yeah, it was interesting. There's all those kinds of different ways. You just got to talk to different people. If you talk to one person who says no, that's not what we do, or you can't find a loan like that, talk to another loan officer.
Yeah.
Commercial financing is big too, but you got to go to small, more like community banks or
Like F&M might help for someone who's looking for an investment property that maybe Summit wouldn't be able to take care of, or Wells Fargo.
But yeah, I mean, Summit funding is great for what they do, but they're not going to go outside of their lines.
Right.
You know, some people just draw different
Creative
lines on the paper. Yep. Okay. What can open the doors to talking to your clients about investing? What is your own investment strategy? How can you learn more about financing? So how do you talk to clients about this? I mean, I talk to clients all the time, and you know, some of them just that's not what they're going to do.
Yeah.
But you can tell stories about how people have done these things, how we've done these things, and you know, how they can build their wealth through real estate. Yeah, and the story I like to say is, you have your money in the stock market and something happens in Ukraine and the stock market goes down 8,000 points or whatever. And it has nothing to do with the fundamentals of the company that you bought into.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just some silly thing that happened, you know, that Ukraine's not silly, but somebody said something or did something or something and the stock price goes down overall.
Or Elon bought
Yeah,
Twitter.
yeah.
Or about buying Twitter.
Yeah, and so all kinds of weird things affect the stock market and your money in the stock market, whereas the housing market is controlled by regular people for the most part. There's institutional buyers and stuff like that. This guy in Dallas is selling a 250 house portfolio, you know, things like that. But that doesn't, if some silly thing in the world goes on, it doesn't drop the price of houses. And housing has consistently gone up 4% over the last, well, whenever, you know, hundreds of years, you know, so it's not a bad investment. It's affected more by regular people and what people are willing to pay for a house and affordability and stuff like that. It's not by just some weird thing that goes on in the world.
And something that's kind of, you know, near and dear to us too, like, is being able to get into an investment property. It doesn't have to be in your backyard. It doesn't have to be where you live.
Yeah.
You know, there's houses in New York, Niagara Falls that you can get for $30,000.
Like fourplexes, like a fourplex too.
You know, there's options outside of right where, you know, the important thing is to have the relationships to research that area. What are the
rules and regulations? Can you be an out-of-state?
Yeah, like
property
what's going on?
owner,
Do you have somebody
landlord?
to?
Yeah, well,
property
like
management?
Dave put together a team in Detroit and bought a bunch of houses in Detroit when nobody was buying in Detroit, and he's doing very well. And
I have a friend who house hacked in Stockton on an FHA home. And he Airbnbs the back and on Furnish Finder, he says I make about $1,800 a month on that.
Nice.
And so I think it's really like connecting with your client too, and like breaking down those limiting beliefs. Like I was a first time home buyer this last year. So if I didn't know anything and I wasn't in the real estate market, I would think that investing is out of my hands or out of my
Yes,
control. And like, it wouldn't be something for me. So I think it starts with the conversation too. Where are you at? Like, have you thought about this option? Like, I know you're a first time home buyer. So if something were to come up, would you be interested in becoming an investor?
Yeah.
This would be your foot in the door. So I think it's know your client's story, knowing what they're working with, and then just asking the right questions.
It's like the
And
whole
proceeding.
Ford method, what are their dreams? What are their?
Which we should do a subcategory of that this next week.
all right, now handling objections and serve clients. Learn what is slowing clients down. Handling objections. What objections do you hear, and what objections are based on the current market? And everybody's saying affordability is way.
Well, too, what objections are you hearing? I think Lacey made that comment right there too, as far as people think I can't do it. So pie in the sky thing, that's not even a possibility for me. And then, the interest rates, how can I do
Inventory too. You're
inventory?
just spending inventory.
What were you gonna say, Mo?
Oh, people just saying, I'm gonna wait until a
Yeah.
crash or whatever.
The cows come home.
Yeah, I always say,
I'm gonna wait a year.
I
like,
have a client that's been waiting for that for 5 years.
Yeah,
So,
and then all that time and money could be working for you.
okay, they say, I like my interest rate. How can you respond? Great, you can keep it. I don't know. Let's evaluate what your needs are before we make a final choice. Okay, so what do they need? What do they want in the way of investing?
Yeah, well, maybe that one, it's more, maybe someone's not gonna do a refi or sell it. They're gonna keep that, do a home equity line of credit on top of it and use that to go purchase another one as a down payment.
Or like Kenny, they want to be on the water. So are you stuck on this 3% interest rate, but you're not happy with your house? Or would you rather pay more and be happy where you are?
Yeah.
Like what's the needs?
I don't know enough about real estate to be an investor. How can you respond? If you own your own house, you're already an investor.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your financial future and how real estate can play into it. So if you don't know enough, I'm here to help you learn, and if you don't want to learn from me, there's plenty of resources. Like I said, it is more difficult than having money taken out of your paycheck, every paycheck and put into a stock market that you know nothing about. So
And some people do both.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, right?
Mhm.
Real estate investing is too complicated. How can you respond? Real estate investing can be complicated, yet it's my job to make your part simple. Once we talk through what you want to accomplish through real estate, I can guide the strategy. It's kind of rough for us because we won't invest in rentals in California, so we're not generating business for ourselves when we teach people how to invest outside of California, or in landlord friendly states. But you are serving your client. The realtor who got Dave into buying properties in Detroit, he's got a lifelong customer now because the guy's making a lot of money. So
And it might be like things that people like during the pandemic, like when a lot of people were passing away, like they might have inherited something by default.
Yeah.
And so just helping them, but they've never owned a property like me, like I got my dad's
Yeah.
property. But having a real estate advisor to tell me so that like if the time does come, then you can help them with like either sell that or make the right moves for that property.
So the best ways to handle objections are truly listen. You know, maybe it's someone who's just not gonna do it. Learn the root issue, and
Scared.
direct,
They're probably scared.
yeah,
Fear.
direct to success. It's a scary thing.
Mhm.
How can you help your clients through handling objections? How can you practice? Success in real estate starts when you believe you are worthy of it.
Yeah.
Both show.
Oh, I like that. Can I take a picture?
Because, oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
okay.
Because some people have been generational renters. And they think that they don't deserve to own a home, you know, or that that's just for those people, that's just for those rich people.
Or they've had a bad experience one time, or maybe.
Or they lost, shoot.
Or they think they- Or they think they need a bunch of money to, or, you know.
Right, they just, no, they're scared, they don't think it's for them, I really like that quote.
And we had
That's-
one of Jose's clients who had what? All those family members on that one.
That's 5 of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and you know, they do studies, and the average person who owns a home after a few years has $250,000 in net worth. The average person who rents along the whole scale from 18 years old to 70 years old has $5,000 in net worth. Because everything they're renting a house and paying for the landlord's mortgage. So the landlord is getting richer, but they're not. And then they buy cars that are, you know, probably,
Cars.
you know,
Yeah.
expensive, and they go down in value. So nothing they buy increases in value. And one of the only things you buy that increases in value is your home, you know. And so that's how you grow your net worth is not only the value of the home increasing, but you're paying down the principal. So
So that's, I'm sorry, that's something when you're helping, especially a first time home buyer, you're truly changing their life. Because you're just put them on a whole different trajectory, and maybe one that they never even thought that they could do.
yeah, that's for sure.
And it's nice, like even for myself, like looking at the market reports, I'm like, wow. You know, just like when I get them, I'm like, awesome. It just was a reminder of, you know, the good investment you
It's
make.
good, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's hard,
Yeah.
and sometimes
So
it's.
then you got the wait, it's just
Yeah.
a waiting game, you know, if it's not a great market, just sit on it. It's still
Uh-huh.
yours, you know, until it
Yeah.
goes back up.
Yeah, as long, you know, yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that advantage to renting is, you know, most of the time the landlord will take care of those issues that come up, you know, the broken pipe or
My fence blew down, my
Mhm.
first,
fence blew down.
Water
Um,
heater,
Well,
balconies.
yeah, I mean, yeah, just stuff that goes wrong, the landlord will take care of it, but you know, a lot of people end up having to rent from someone who doesn't take care of that stuff too. And so you always take that chance when you're renting. And when you're buying, you do have to make sure you set aside some money for if the water heater goes bad or if the air conditioner goes bad or you know, anything that happens like that. But that,
Fridge is out right now, our dishwasher was just.
yeah. But I'd rather like that duplex that we, you know, is bought for $249, it's worth $270 now, so.
Yeah.
You know, you can put a little bit of money into it. So. Yeah,
I just wanna say, not do something, what are you grateful for? I wanna say how handsome somebody looks with their new haircut.
brand new man.
yeah, well, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording there then.
Nope.
What,
Sorry.
is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.